Hey guys, so this is my dad, the coolest man ever,
Yo,
Patrick Michael Terrell, and he brought me chocolates because he loves me. And what did you drink in there, Dad?
um, coffee by death.
So I made him a cup of Death Wish coffee, which will probably barely make a dent because you still drink like a whole huge thermos of coffee a day.
Uh, 2 cups in the morning and a cup at night.
Oh, so just 3 cups?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You cut it back, huh? I remember Dad used to drink like a whole pot by himself.
Yes.
Yeah. So do you want to tell me a little bit about your life? One of my favorite things being a kid was my dad telling me stories about growing up on the farm. He had 13 siblings, and was there a goat at some point?
There was a goat called George
Called George.
that my dad
George
uh,
Harrison.
he picked up. Each borrowed and traded with another guy. That he gave the guy up. I think 2 bags of apples for a goat.
Dude, that's a pretty sweet deal. I was gonna say like a wife, a wife for a goat.
For goats. And my mother didn't appreciate the goat at all.
Yeah, I heard at one point it chased your mom up a tree.
Yep. And when we got riding home on the school bus, we got to see my mother up in a tree. The goat chased her up the tree. Yeah, that was hilarious.
So I'm guessing you guys laughed and then
We
got in trouble.
got the goat and got my mother out of the tree. Yes,
Oh, little
she
heroes.
was. The goat left soon after that.
Yeah, the goat left. The goat got cooked. So, what question should I ask him, hun?
Um, I don't know.
What are your interests, Dad? How would you describe your interests?
Well, I enjoy what I do at work.
Mm-hmm.
So it's every day it's a different adventure
Yeah.
on mechanical or repairment on whatever
Mm-hmm.
I have to do, whether it's a pipe repair or mechanical or mechanical failure, and try to figure out what's wrong with it and get it back
Mm-hmm.
up and running.
So my dad, you're like a general handyman, and so he works on all sorts of stuff,
Yep,
right?
from rooftops to basements to
Mm-hmm.
boiler rooms to condensers to forced air units, whatever it may
Yeah.
be.
And now you're working, or you're teaching, right? You're teaching some courses.
I was teaching some appliance classes to uh, my coworkers at work. We had probably 14 classes we did
Mm-hmm.
with different groups. We had a part A and a part B class that we taught on the different functions of different appliances. We broke them up in different categories to simplify it and to make it like a 2 hour course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So, if you had to pick some of like the your favorite memories from growing up, the way you did, um, what couple things jump to your minds?
I'll just uh, enjoying the different times of the year, the seasons, walking
Mm-hmm.
in the woods and enjoying nature and just raising the animals and
Mm-hmm.
getting to know how each animal would the different
Talking about your little siblings.
no different animals would act differently towards you than
Yeah.
your sibling because of the way you treated them and so on.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
So you guys had pigs, right?
we had feeder pigs and we had sows and we had gilts and we had
Gilts? What's that?
barrels and
I don't know what he's talking about.
that's a barrel is a castrated pig
Oh,
and a gilt is
oh, TMI.
a female pig before she becomes has a litter.
Oh, before she becomes a woman.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
and we had Yorkshires and Durocs and
Okay. And you guys had a garden, right? So you guys grew a lot of your own food.
Yeah, we had probably a 3 acre garden. We had like 20, a little over 20 mini apple trees,
Oh, fun.
various of winter apples, crab apple. We had a pear tree, and we used to graft the trees, the pear tree and apple trees, and we had 4 variations of raspberries that we'd graft to each branch
Sounds
to
amazing.
grow a different variation, and we'd get
Mm-hmm.
a surplus of, of tangy raspberries is what we'd get
Mm-hmm.
from dark to clear,
Mm-hmm.
and we tried different variations with that as well.
Yeah. So my dad was truly old school. He would get up before sunrise, right?
Yeah.
Do chores, milk cows, do like farm work for nearby farms.
Yep, we got voluntold
Voluntold.
to
Yeah.
help or assist neighbors, whether they paid us or not was
Oh, wow.
not really didn't really matter.
Yeah. And then you got on the bus to school, right?
Right. Yeah.
And then after school, you'd have like football or track practice
Yes.
where he broke records, right? Track star.
I broke a few records. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you would have to jog home like 7 miles, right?
It was 12 miles.
Oh, wow. 12 miles.
I would some when they stopped having a second bus. I'd get a ride to the neighboring town. Then I'd hitchhike, and then 1 or 2 guys going to work to Mankato on Highway 60
Mm-hmm.
would pick me up here about just about every night.
Yeah. Wow. And then I'm assuming you had more chores to do when you got home?
Sometimes, if my
Yeah.
brother wasn't really active in sports, he would do the chores. He kind of grudgingly said, "Well,
Which brother?
Blair,
Blair.
yeah,
He's always been a little sassy.
yeah, Blair and Tim, they would get stuck." But then when me and Tim were both in track and that sort of thing, and I had a car, I would drive, and it
Uh-huh.
made it. There was
Yeah.
no. They limited the transportation after school bus. They didn't have that back, so it
You
was
guys weren't no candy ass millennials.
no.
No. No. So up until just recently you had like two jobs just so you wouldn't get bored.
I still have 2 jobs.
Still has two jobs. How old are you, Dad?
I'm barely. I'll be 65 next year.
65. Wow. Yeah, and he's always working hard, has projects, and just enjoying life, right?
That's I enjoy working with the group homes
Mm-hmm.
because of the need, and there's I feel like I accomplished something when I
Yeah.
go there and do something, and
You have a real connection with a lot of the residents, right?
I do.
They get excited to see you.
Some are they're glad to see me, and some just want to complain. So you
Oh.
got the and
Yeah.
there's some they have some special needs. Some are mentally challenged, some are physically challenged, and
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there was a very interesting story you told me when I was a child about how you were enlisted to go to Vietnam, right? And weren't you about to go and join the service and then you got into a
I
bad car accident?
I enlisted in my junior year in 1975
Okay.
to enlist me and another guy. We did kind of a joint enlistment together,
Mm-hmm.
and 2 weeks before I was supposed to go in, I got in a car accident and I lost part of my some of my hearing and some of my
Oh,
eyesight.
wow. Wow. And you were thrown out of the car, right?
Yes,
And you got like severe road rash
right.
all over your body.
There was a mark every inch of my body.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
You know,
And you ended up in a ditch, which should have
on a pile of rocks,
on a pal. Oh, wow.
field rocks.
Yeah, and there should have been water in the ditch, but lucky for you, there wasn't,
Yeah, it
or
was
you would
pretty
have
fortunate.
you would have drowned.
Yep.
But because of that, you ended up not joining the service.
No, my doctor sent a letter to uh, the Army Reserve guy and said that I would not, it'd be physically, at that time, it'd been physically impossible for me to join.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that that was like fate because you didn't end up going off to Vietnam?
Well, it wouldn't have been Vietnam. The Vietnam War just ended,
Oh, right.
and
Okay.
that was in 1976. So the Vietnam
Mm-hmm.
War ended in late 73 into
Oh, right.
74.
Okay. But then you wouldn't have met mom, right?
Right. I would never have met your mother.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be here.
No, you wouldn't be here. No.
Yeah. Okay, Dad. Thank you so much for doing this interview. I love you. Bye.
Love you too.